Ringo TV reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Let's get to work.
So this is like a quick message. You are not meant for a 9 to 5, And as chosen ones, we have a specific path and plan for ourselves. And if you don't have that path or plan or vision planned out already, or if you don't know about it, it eventually will come to you. But I want to...
True man, I'm free, I wake up a new episode. I pop out cleaners, keep me up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me, I get it though. Yeah, I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Saudi so soon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might slide through with that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga. Look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid. I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper. 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 Hop on that jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They pay me to play me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must like do it a top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga. Look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid. I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper.
So this is like a quick message. You are not meant for a 9 to 5, And as chosen ones, we have a specific path and plan for ourselves. And if you don't have that path or plan or vision planned out already, or if you don't know about it, it eventually will come to you. But I want to tell you, in the workplace, we're very much targets because of our personality and because of our presence. So people will easily feel intimidated by us and easily try to pick on us and try to, really just box us in and make us feel like, we shouldn't be there or that we're different. For an example, when I first started to work there, it was cool at first, but then some of the females there, would just be mouthy towards me, And back then, I was more reactive. And before I continue, I just want to say, sometimes 9 to 5s are there in our life just so we could learn, Because for me, I needed to learn how to be more communicative with the customers because I'm very low-key, introverted. I really don't like talking to people like that. But it taught me to be more outgoing and it taught me to be less reactive. I was more reactive back then. And yeah, so it teaches you a lesson. But, people will be after you because of who you are. They see your light, they see that you get your work done, and they will be intimidated by your presence. Your manager may be intimidated by your presence. And mine was, because they may feel like, wow, what if this person stays here forever? Mind you, you're not. You're going to move on to bigger and better things, But they think of it as, oh, she might take my position. Or he might take my position. He works so hard. He's so charming. He gets things, he works so hard. You know, he does his best, she does her best, she comes in on time, he comes in on time, you know? So they will start to feel some type of way and start to, you know, basically single you out and make you feel like you're doing everything wrong. So for an example, you know, I had this manager or whatever. I think he's like day shift or whatever. And I guess he liked this girl on my shift, and me and her, look, he had, you know, had a little it wasn't a big confrontation, but she had a tone with me and I answered back in the same tone. Mind you, I was reactive back then, and it taught me to not be reactive. So, I think like ever since then, like he was coming for me. So one time he asked me, you know, I'm sitting down, like there's nobody there. I came early in the morning, nobody's there. Don't nobody come in till like after 11. So I'm sitting down and he asked me to, you know, do the silverware, you know, I guess unravel new silverware, like unbox it or whatever. So I did exactly what he told me to do. I unboxed it, then I put it in the tray and I put it back there, right? Next thing I know, he's asking me to come to his office. And y'all know what he was doing? He literally wrote me up and said, oh, yeah, I asked her to do this and that, and she didn't do it. I said, you asked me to do this and that. You never told me to wash it. You know, he wanted me to wash it as well. And that never came out of his mouth. So it's like, you know, at that point in time, you know, I just felt harassed. And I told him, you're not about to harass me, and I'm not signing this, you know, little suspicious slip. And, you know, it ended up getting dismissed by my GM or whatever. And, like, ever since then, they were coming after me, like, seriously. And I just want to let y'all know, like, you are a target to people in the workplace, especially if you have a good spirit and you just mind your business and you're just there to get work and get paid. People will be after you because they notice how you don't want to interact with everybody. You're not there to gain friends. You're there to work. You're there to get things done. And people will feel some type of way about it because a lot of people are people pleasers. A lot of people, like I would say, like an unhealed chosen person may be a people pleaser, but a person, a chosen one that's done their healing work, you know, they aren't people pleasers. They got over that phase in their life. And me at the time, I was never a people pleaser. I never cared to make friends, especially when, you know, everybody talks about each other in the workplace. I just was never into that. You know, I was doing my own thing, worried about myself, you know, worry about the customers I handle, and I was trying to be, you know, in and out. And for some reason, you know, I was just a target. And, like, I just want to let y'all know, people see things in you, especially if you're, you know, like I said, just there to get your work done, and you're just persistent, you're consistent, you're a hard worker, you know. People will feel so intimidated by you, by your presence. They think that, you know, maybe you could be something more in life. You probably have a vision for yourself, you know, and people will just be so intimidated by your energy, you know. So if you're in the workplace right now and you're going through things where people are teaming up against you, imagine how strong you are by yourself. If people are teaming up against you, just imagine how strong you are. That's how you know you are worth way more than that job, and that, you know, you have some plans and vision that's going to come to you in your life. You know, you're meant for greatness, you know, and do not let these people get to you because, you know, you're one of one. And people know that. People are intimidated by you. And another thing, before I leave out, you know, if you have not received your vision or plan yet, but you know that you are not meant for a 9-to-5, I just want to let you know, you will receive that vision and plan, but you have to start working towards something. You know, you have to do your due diligence on what you like, what type of person you are, what do you want out of life. You need to write all of that down. And, you know, eventually it will come to you. Pray to God about it, ask God about it, and it will come to you. And you will escape the 9-to-5 system.
I mean, where do we begin with this one? This is what's going on social media, guys. A woman pretty much comes out with a video and says, chosen ones, the truth is you're not meant for a 9-to-5.
What you talking about, Willis?
You're not meant? Where in the Bible is that? Where in the Bible does it say you're not meant to be at a 9-to-5? And see, this is why this chosen one thing is, it has gone out of control. Because all people do now on social media is they just put chosen one on the front of their video title, and then they just tell you what you want to hear. Now, some of you probably came in here ready to hear me talk about you're not meant to be at a 9-to-5. So then where are you meant to be? Like, what do you expect to do? Like, what do you do? If you're not meant to be at a 9-to-5, right? Then where are you meant to be? And why you're not doing something productive to get yourself there? I mean, if you're not meant to be at a 9-to-5, are you implying that you're supposed to have your own business? Because now, if that's what you're saying, if we can just go by that, let's say, for example, you're viewing the show right now and you agree with her. Okay, cool. Let's challenge that. If you're not meant to be at the 9-to-5, but you're meant to have your own business, right? Don't you gotta hire people? Are you saying that those people are not meant to be at the 9-to-5? I mean, somebody gotta work. No matter how you see it, somebody gotta work for somebody. If you start a business, people gotta work for you. So what if one of the people that's hired is a so-called chosen one? Do they get to go home and relax and come online and say, hey, you know, as a chosen one, you're not meant to have a 9-to-5? No, that is an excuse for, I just don't want to work. That's what that is. What I'm getting from this video is I have a problem taking orders. I have a problem doing what I'm told. I told you already, when you're on the 9-to-5, you're going to get bossed around. Somebody's going to be there saying, hey, do this, do that. People are going to do that type of stuff. And that's normal. That's what you're going to get when you're on the 9-to-5. People are going to tell you, do this, do that, do this, do that. If you don't like it and you're upset, then, hey, that's your prerogative. Quit. Go ahead and start something of your own and see how it is when you're on your own. Because when you're self-employed or have your own business, it's more responsibility than being on a 9-to-5. See, a lot of times people want to have their own business, right? But if you don't understand how to work in a business, you're going to never have the training on how to run your own business. If you cannot even maintain or manage someone else's company, business, and so forth as a worker, you'll never be promoted to anything of greatness because you don't know how to handle the few. See, what she's talking about is very dangerous because it's interesting. Content like that seems to always attract people that don't want to work. They don't want to work. See, when you're on the 9-to-5 grind, the 9-to-5 grind is a place where you learn discipline. You learn how to interact with different personalities. Some you may like, some you may not like. Think of it as an internship. That's how you should look at your job. An internship, at the same time I'm getting paid. My job is just do what I'm told, do what my job title says, and learn everything I can learn about how this place functions. I want to know how the manager does what they do. I want to know how this one do what they do. I want to know what everybody's job title is and how this all come together for the good. I want to understand my title so that I can now, when I'm ready, branch out and start my own business or do something productive for myself, because I don't really plan on being here forever. But to say that you're not meant for the 9 to 5 is ludicrous. Everybody has to have a job somewhere. Everybody got to start somewhere. And normally people that are handed down businesses and they never had any form of work, they're going to end up failing. You know, they're going to fail at whatever it is they do because they don't know how to interact with people. They're not, they have poor work ethic. They just don't know nothing. You got to be able to understand your job is not only there to help you provide for yourself, but also to teach you discipline on the importance of working, the importance of getting up on time, the importance of being committed to that which you're doing, and to do it to the best of your abilities. Now, am I saying be at the 9 to 5 forever? It depends on the context of your situation. Some of you are at jobs you don't like. Some of you are at jobs that you do like. Some of you have careers where you're perfectly happy where you are. You don't, man, if I were to say, hey, would you want to move from that and do this? You'll be like, nah, fam, I'm good. I'm straight. I like my career. I like my job. They pay good. I don't got no problems. So it all depends on the context. But to say you're not meant because you're a chosen one is crazy. And this is why when we hear this term chosen one on social media, you got to disregard that. Like moving forward, everyone that's watching the stream, when you hear anybody using the term chosen one, right? Because remember, this particular chosen one talking point was stolen by a lot of content creators that copied off of Brother New Breed. Brother New Breed pushed the chosen one talking point to bring people to the Most High, to focus on the scriptures, to focus on repentance, to focus on the real problems a real chosen one face based on the Bible. Because of the advent of social media and the fact that you can monetize, what others saw was a money-making opportunity. In other words, if I can come online and I know that there's a multitude of people that are delusional, all I got to do is start my videos. Hey, chosen ones, today I'm going to tell you the reason why you're going through what you're going through is because you're a chosen one. They just don't like you. They're intimidated by you. Because when you go to your job, your managers, your coworkers, they see that you're chosen and they're intimidated by you. And because you don't know no better, you'll listen to that mess I just finished saying there and think it holds some sense of value. Because you want to believe that you're so great when really you're most likely in sin. And that's why you're going through all the hell and hot waters you're dealing with. Not because you're chosen. It could just be that you're in sin 24 hours a day. Whenever you hear people come online talking about chosen ones, you'll notice one thing. They never open the Bible. They never quote scripture. They never teach you to repent of your sins. They never do that. Because again, if you watch my video earlier, I talked about content marketing for dummies. And I talked about how on social media, people are dumbed down. They don't want to hear truth. They don't want to hear about anything that can help them as a person. And the last thing they want to hear is you quote from the Bible. So what these charlatans are doing is they found a loophole in the matrix. The loophole in the matrix is don't quote the Bible, don't quote scripture. I know what to do. Just say chosen ones. Just do that, because if you say chosen ones, it could relate to anybody because everybody believes they're chosen. They don't even have to know where the term chosen one came from. All you got to do is just say chosen one and everybody would just gravitate towards it. See, what you must understand, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The biblical Israelites, according to the Bible, are the melanated, make sure you hear me carefully, because you got people in this world claiming that they're the chosen ones when they're not. The book of Revelations exposed that. We're the chosen ones, the people that came through the transatlantic slave trade and their descendants. But being that we're the chosen ones, that does not mean like you go around calling yourself chosen, but you're still in sin. You haven't repented. You don't teach the word of the Most High. You don't live by the word. If you're not doing all of that, stop saying you're chosen. And we know that these women that are going around social media saying they're chosen, they're not even supposed to be teaching. Men are the teachers. Women are supposed to be wives, mothers, raising children. So when you see this chosen one phenomenon going on, it's normally by charlatans, false prophets, false teachers. Remember what the Messiah said. Many false prophets will arise and deceive many. He's not talking about your Christian pastor only. That would be easy for us to identify. He's talking about today, social media age. Everyone is an influencer. Everyone has a podcast. Everyone has a microphone. And with these devices, many false prophets has arise, and they're deceiving many. But see, if you don't know who are the false prophets, who are the false teachers, you'll point towards the Christian church and think, if they're a Christian pastor, they're false. No, they're not the only false prophets, the false teachers. It's anyone of influence. Are they teaching you the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? Are they teaching you to overcome your sin? If they're not teaching you that, turn them off because they're of the devil. This young lady is telling you that you're not meant to be at the 9 to 5. Well, then where are you meant to be? She just don't want to work. Notice the eyebrow mess? You see how I keep telling these ladies to take that mess off? I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. One eye is low, the other eye, I mean, come on, man. Y'all got to do better, ladies. Seriously. Like, what do y'all get from this? Right? So now, she's telling you that chosen ones are not meant to work at a 9 to 5. Where is that in the Bible? Where in the Bible did it say that a chosen one is not meant to have a job? Everybody got to work. Everybody got to work to provide for themselves. See, everything she's saying right here throughout this video is BS. I know it is, because when I was on a 9 to 5, right, although I was one of the best workers at the agency, that's a fact. If you were to go to that agency right now and ask anybody, just ask them about me. Oh yeah, they'll tell you. They know that my work ethic, my performance in terms of doing the job was immaculate. I mean, I'm just on point. At the same time, she's making it seem that when you're at this job, you're like just targeted and everyone is attacking you. That's not possible, Because in the workplace, we have such thing as workplace violence. We have hostile working environment policies. We have harassment policies in the workplace. So if anybody was doing any of these things to you, all you got to do is just report this activity to your supervisor. And if your supervisor is not paying attention to your situation, you can always go above the chain of authority and speak to their supervisor or send an email to that particular supervisor and CC whoever else you might need to be notified about this problem. Somebody is going to have to answer for why you as an employee are dealing with harassment on the job. So what I'm getting from her is that she's just not fit to be around other people because she's not a team player. Do you understand what I'm saying? She just don't know how to work with other people. I told you already, everybody got different personalities. When you're on the job, it's not about liking this person or liking that person. It's about getting the job done. I don't gotta like you. We don't gotta be friends, but when we come to work, we gotta get this job done. Do you understand? A lot of us at times, when we come to the 9 to 5, we be thinking we have to get along with everybody in order to do the job. No, you got to erase that out of your mind. When you come to the 9 to 5, you're there to do the job. You're paid to do a job. You're not paid to hang out. You're not paid to have friendships with everybody. You're not even paid to have dating relationships. You're there for the assignment. So even if me and this individual don't really click, we got to have that mutual understanding of we're here to do a job. Sometimes you got to deal with employees on a business level. Sometimes if you have coworkers or whatever the case is that y'all really don't agree, right? Let me show you how you handle that. You ask that particular coworker that you would like to talk to them privately on this side right here. They come over on the side, you be like, I just want to chop it up with you so I can explain a few things, right? First of all, we can agree that we're both here to do a job, right or wrong? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right. We have the same job title. You agree? Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. All right. So moving forward, right? I know we kind of clash a little bit and we may not see eye to eye respectfully. At the same time, right? We don't have to be friends. But we do have to get a job done. That's something we have to agree on. Because at the end of the day, the company is paying us to do a job. They're not really paying us to be friends or to do this and to do that. So moving forward, I just want to focus on business. So when I see you as a coworker and where we're going to be handling business to make sure that we do our job. That way we can respect one another and do what we got to do. We go home, call it a day. But beefing, arguing, he said, she said, it's not going to fly. Because one of us is going to get in trouble, lose our job, and it's just not going to be good. So can we agree on that? And that's it. You got to talk to people straight. We're not here to be friends. We're here to do a job. She had issues with other people because, again, and I've seen my fair share of women fighting on the job, women beefing on the job. I've seen so many women fighting on the job, it's unbelievable. I've seen women steal from other women, steal women's shoes, purses, money, clothing. I'm talking about I've seen women come to work in an outfit, and then when it was time to leave, somebody stole the woman's clothes because she was wearing some fly stuff. They must have broke in her locker, stole her clothes and her shoes. Big fight on the job, you know? And then I think eventually they installed some cameras, or I'm not sure if they installed them or I had left before they did the installations. But I've seen and heard all of these particular stories. Women fight more in the workplace than men, believe it or not. And a lot of times it's because we bring our issues to the job. We bring drama to the job, our home business, and we start telling this person and that person. And before you know it, when people start gossiping about you on the job, now all of a sudden you want to fight everybody. You know? And that's what's happening right now. The issue is not that you're not meant to do this and you're not meant to be on the 9 to 5. The issue here is you just don't want to work, and you're lazy, and you can't take orders. And if you can't take orders in the workplace environment, I know you're not following the Most High, because you're not even keeping his commandments. So the truth of the matter is this woman obeying the word of the Most High? Is she obeying the commandments? Is she obeying the commandments of the Most High? Did she open up the Bible and read it? Or is she just calling herself a chosen one? But notice this, because she says chosen one, notice how I am assuming that she's following God. I'm assuming that she must be a woman who know about the Most High, because she's using the term chosen one. But see, chosen one on social media is not about the Most High anymore. It's about people that's trying to make some money. It's about people that are just trying to build a following of people by saying words that hypnotize them. You got all different nationalities of men and women calling themselves chosen ones, disrespecting the real biblical Israelites. You understand what I mean? If you're a chosen one, you're obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. If you're a woman and you're a chosen one, your legs are not open. There is no way as a woman who is a chosen one that your legs is open for Pookie and Ray Ray. That's impossible. So if your legs are open, you're not chosen. You're chosen by the devil, but you're not chosen by the Most High. Again, if you're a woman at the sound of my voice and you claim you're a chosen one, if a man who is not your husband is hitting it from the back, you're not a chosen one. You're wicked. Do you understand that? You're a 304. That's what you're chosen to do. Make no mistake about it. Let's not be a hypocrite now. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at yourself. Are you following the Most High, or are you just a hypocrite? Because this is why we have these problems, because people don't want to take accountability for their life. A real chosen one is obeying the Most High. A real chosen one repent of their sins and they clean up their life. They abstain from the appearances of sin. They do a lot of different things to maintain their walk with the Most High. I never hear these folks that talk about chosen ones ever speak against sin or anything. They just tickle your ears with messages that sound good. And they're deceiving you. So let's play the tape. Let's listen to what she said. Let's break this thing down. Now, I let you hear it in its entirety in the beginning, because that's how I'm doing things from now on. I'm going to let you hear the tape, and then I'm going to come in with my commentary. That way, nobody could tell me I misunderstood and no, you got it wrong. No, I let you hear the tape. So now let's rewind this thing back and see what she says.
So this is like a quick message. You are not meant for a 9 to 5.
That's crazy. You're not meant for a 9 to 5. Then what are you meant for? What are you meant for? Are we all supposed to just have businesses? Well, then who works for us? I mean, this young lady is probably in her early 20s. There is no way she could tell me that she's not supposed to be working right now. She in her early 20s. So she most likely supposed to be on the 9 to 5 learning a lot about this and that and various other things. She just don't want to do it because she's bumping heads with other females. Like I said, I've seen this happen many times on a 9 to 5 grind. You know what I mean? I remember the one particular agency that I worked for, right? Before the whole pandemic situation. I remember when I got into that agency, I was at the bottom of the totem pole. At the bottom. The first title within that agency is called caretaker. Those are the people that pretty much they're the janitors. They're the ones who clean buildings, mop floors, take out trash, deal with compactors, you name it, right? They're the hardest working individuals within the agency, and they get paid the least. Do you understand? And even to this day, they're the hardest workers, but they get paid the least. I say they're the hardest workers because I was once there. Even though I moved up in the ranks and moved up in different titles, I know where I came from. On my first day on the job, and I told y'all this story, on my first day of the job in that agency, I almost get into a fight with a dude in the hallway. I'm mopping the building, you know what I'm saying? I mop the lobby, and based on your training, when you mop the lobby and whatnot, you're supposed to put down the wet floor signs, right? You put down the yellow wet floor signs because educated people, when they walk through a hallway, if they see a floor sign, right, it should tell you that the floor is wet. I mean, common sense should tell you that when you walk on a floor, you should look at it to know it's wet. But with usins, sometimes we don't pay attention, right? So I mop the floor. I got my little Bluetooth speaker playing my music. I'm feeling good. First day on the job, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a ball. It's like I'm just cooling. Dude come downstairs, you know what I mean? And he walking. I seen him walk by because I was in the slop sink, you know what I'm saying? Wringing out the mop and whatnot, doing what I had to do, just having fun, you know what I mean? Got my new job, you know what I mean? Getting my bread. I'm chilling. Next minute I hear dude, one set of cussing over there at the lobby door. I'm like, I don't know what he flipping for. I know he's not talking to me. You know what I mean? Because ain't no way you're gonna be disrespecting me like that. You know what I mean? Like, so I know he ain't talking to me. Can't be. So I go and see what the commotion is. I come out the slop sink. I'm like, yo, you good? And he's effing this and who to this and that and what he gonna do to who and who, whoopity whoop whoop. And I'm literally saying to myself now this can't be happening on my first day. My first day? Like, bro, you don't even know who I am, bro. Like, you don't even know where my mind is right now. You talking grimy like that, bro? Yo, you don't know. So before I got the job, right? Everybody had to undergo training for anger. Not that you may need it, but for the type of job, you gonna need it. Right? You gonna need it. So we had to undergo this training for anger. How to control anger, how to de-escalate, how to step out of a situation and give a soft answer to curve any sort of drama. So we got that particular training. We got various different training in order to do the job. So bruh man over there wilding, you know, he tweaking. I already know what I would do to him in terms of breaking his face. I already know what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna lose my job if I did it. So I already know the consequences. See, this is the difference between men and beta males. A man think before he react. So while dude is flipping and wilding out, in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute now. I got a family to support. This is my first day. I'm on probation. If I get caught up in some fight right now, I'm gonna lose my job. I worked too hard to take all these exams, all this training, and now I'm in the field to lose it because some knucklehead don't know how to read, right? So he there flipping and whatnot. So he walks over near me. Now, keep in mind, he like right here in front of me. He's literally in the danger zone, the zone where you get knocked out real quick. Cause you know, like you dudes know what I'm talking about. But dude get a little too close and he's mouthing off. You're gonna punch him in the mouth real quick. He not gonna see it coming. It's like a natural reaction. You didn't even want to punch him in the face, but it's like it's a natural thing for a man to just punch real quick. So when he was there, I was kind of shocked that I didn't punch him in the face because it was the training that really kicked in. I'm really was surprising myself because normally I'm like, yo, no way you gonna be in my face disrespecting. There's no way. So he mouthing off, running his mouth, and I'm staying cool. And I'm like, yo, how in the world am I still cool? It goes back to the training that I had, the discipline from the classes. They were literally showing you under certain environments, you got to know how to stay cool. Let the other person run their mouth. Let them go crazy. So dude wilding out, talking about, yeah, you know what I'm saying? When I come back here, what I'm going to do and You better watch out. And I'm listening to all this stuff. And in back of my mind, I'm like, bro, you don't know me, bro. Like you think you really think you that dude? You don't even know who you talking to. But again, I had to stay cool. I had to be cool. You know what I mean? I had to like literally just stay and just humble myself and just not go over the edge. So he running his mouth, continue talking all this mess. He walks out the building, then he come back in flipping again. So now he's really getting, he's at that point where it's like, I'm saying to myself, you know what, I'm gonna have to lose the job because I can't take this no more. But I continue to stand my ground and I say, you know what, let me apply the principles that they taught in terms of de-escalating. He's up there right next to me about what he gonna do, all this other stuff. Now again, please keep in mind, I would have thrashed this dude all over the place. I would have destroyed him. But he don't know who he dealing with. So I had to stay calm. So I said, bruh, it's my first day on the job, man. It's my first day. It's like, F that. I don't give a F about your day and this and that. I'm like, that's cool. I said, look, I'll tell you what. My bad. You almost slipped. I should have ringed out the floor and mopped it a little better. But the wet floor signs is right there. You know what I'm saying? They're there for a reason for you to pay attention. Do you understand that? When you walking down a flight of steps and there's a wet floor sign, you got to take your time walking down the steps. I cannot control your body movements that can cause you to slip. Do you understand that? I said, I'm just trying to do my job, bro. First day on the job, I don't want no trouble. Bro, man, it's like the demon that was in him was like confused. Now, I'm not used to talking like that. I'm not talking like that to nobody. You try to front on me, bro, it's a problem on sight. But in that situation, it's like this. You gonna keep your job? Or you gonna go get locked up? Or what? Which one? Make your choice. Make your choice. So once I did that, it's like he cooled down, he calmed down, and he was like, it's like he just like mumbled something under his voice. He left the building. So as he leave the building, I'm shocked that I didn't punch him in the face yet. I'm really shocked because I already know what I'm gonna do. Sometimes, bro, and I'm pretty sure some of you dudes know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you gotta step outside of a situation because you know what you're gonna do to somebody and you know you're gonna go to jail, bro. And you don't wanna go to prison. You know what's gonna happen if you flip. Sometimes people gotta be lucky, bro, that you don't go off. So dude walked back into the building. I ringed out the mop and I said, let me finish drying up the floor real quick because back then, we didn't have those machines that you put on the floor, the blowers to make the floor dry fast. We didn't have those machines then. I think now they got them with that agency. Bruh man walked back in the building. I'm mopping like this. I'm mopping the floor. He come back in the building. I think he's ready to scrap. He's ready to flip. Like I figure he came back with a weapon or whatever, so I'm ready. He come back in. He's like, yo, hey, yo, bro, my man. Yo, my bad, bro. My apologies, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I shouldn't have been flipping out on you like that. You know what I'm saying? Me and my old lady, we just broke up. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm pissed off about that. I came downstairs heated. And it's like I'm taking my frustration out on you. You see what's going on here? He beefing with his old lady upstairs. He come down with an attitude, taking his frustration out on me that could have cost him his life. And see, a lot of dudes, if they don't think carefully, you'll react. You'll react, and then you'll put him in a grave somewhere, and then you in the penitentiary for 20 years. Lost your job, now your family's suffering. All of that could have happened if I would have flipped out. The whole issue is because he broke up with his woman. But because of the way I handled the situation, he came back in and apologized, humbled himself, explained the story, you know, want to offer up dap like, hey, you know, Like, he was like, bro, my bad. Like, real talk, my bad. You know what I'm saying? My apologies, bro. You know what I'm saying? I should have never been flipping out. I see you every other day. You be cleaning the buildings, making sure everything is good. And here I am, you know, fronting on you. And I don't even know you from nowhere. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Like, yo, my bad. And I was like, yo, you good, everything cool. But in my mind, I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, I still wanted to punch him in the face because it's like, don't come trying to dap up like it's sweet, like it's cool after you just finished fronting on me. You know what I mean? I still want to punch you in the face, but I gotta now stay cool because I don't want to go to the next level. But what I'm trying to show you is on the 9 to 5, you're gonna deal with drama. That comes with the territory. You see what I'm saying? So when I look at this young lady and I see her situation, she probably was beefing with different people on the job because she had an attitude, the other ladies had an attitude, and there was always drama. You got to know how to react to the drama by defusing the situation. You could be talking to your supervisor. Your supervisor could get out of pocket. You got to know how to respond to that. And you got to know how to communicate disrespect. Let's say the supervisor disrespect you or whatever the case is. You got to make that clear to the supervisor. If the supervisor don't humble themselves, apologize, and make that situation right, you send an email to their supervisor. You go by the chain of command, you make sure you do everything, make sure everything is in writing because it's a place of business. You understand? People got to be respectful of everybody. Everybody got to show respect. That's how it go. Ain't no, I'm the authority and I'm the taskmaster on the job. That's not how it works. Even the supervisor could get in trouble. You know? But you have to have a mutual respect for everybody. And you have to go there with the intent to do your job, not to make friends, not to party and BS. So if you can survive the workplace, you can start a business. You can have success because you've been through you've been on ground zero. Depending on which agency you work for, whatever your job is, everybody's workplace have drama. Everyone. Every workplace got drama, crazy supervisors, crazy co-workers. You got to deal with it. She's telling you, if you're a chosen one, you're not meant to be there. So you're telling me I wasn't meant to be where I was at when I started out? Because I started from the bottom. I went up to another job title. Then I went up to maintenance title. And I was good to go. And I wanted to be a supervisor, but it didn't go that far because of the whole pandemic situation. But that's the next level I wanted to go to because I wanted to clean up shop within the agency when it came to workers that don't want to do their job. I was going to regulate the whole place, like literally. I was going to regulate everything. Anybody that's not working, it's going to be a problem on site. I'm not going to be no a-hole, but I'm following the books to the T because the job that I was at, it was very serious. It's a demanding job. We're dealing with millions of dollars worth of equipment, and it's high demand because we're providing services for tenants and residents, and it's not something you play games with. And me personally, the way I work is I only wanted to work with people that focus on their job and they took their job serious. And I wanted people to learn not only from me, but also to understand the safety of the job, the importance of the job, because it's very dangerous. You could die on the job. The type of work that I was doing, you could literally die on the job. It's dangerous. We're talking about all sorts of chemicals that's around you, explosions, gas, soot, you name it, there's death all around you. And you have to work without fear, and you have to be as safe as possible. A lot of workers was working without safety gear on. They were not taking the job serious. They would be working with soot. Soot is all over their hands. It gets in their nose. And it's like, you seeing this type of stuff happening and you want to speak on it, but because you are in a similar job title, it's like there's not much you can do. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be the supervisor where I can now regulate situations and make the workers understand the job. So all of you out there that are on a 9 to 5, you work around this type of stuff. People that don't wear their safety gear. They don't wear their PPE. They are lazy. They do a half ASS job, and you end up picking up the slack. Your supervisor always come to you to pick up the slack for somebody else that don't work. And I get it. You don't like it, but that's a part of the game. Whoever works the most, whoever does the best job, the supervisor gonna call you. And you're gonna have more work. What I recommend is if you're on a 9 to 5, do your hours. In other words, if you get paid for 8 hours, that's all I'm doing. I am not gonna be doing all this extra work within that 1 hour. Because now you're gonna overwork yourself and you're doing extra work that you're not being paid for. Do your 8 hours, 12 hours, and that's it. Nothing extra. Anything that's outside of your job title, don't even touch it. Because I know how some of you are. You go the extra mile. I know because I did that. I was the kind of guy on the 9 to 5. I did 20 jobs that pretty much I didn't even have no business doing. But I did them because I was just good at these particular jobs. And I would do them because of safety reasons, and it would help all the other coworkers to be safe, and the place will look immaculate. And when supervision would come around, they'll be like, who did all of this? Oh, Ringo did. Wow. This is amazing. I never had an issue with a supervisor. Never had an issue with a supervisor telling me anything. Never got called in the office about anything in terms of work performance. Never had no issues like that. You know, job was always done. So I know that what this woman says here is BS. She just don't want to work. And she feel she's above the job because she want to do her nails, her lashes, and have a good old time and have this Hollywood social media life without paying her dues. That's what she's really dealing with, fam. You understand? She don't want to get her hands dirty. No. If your supervisor told you to do something, how you gonna say he's harassing you? Let's get to the tape.
And as chosen ones, we have a specific path and plan for ourselves. And if you don't have that path or plan or vision planned out already, or if you don't know about it, it eventually will come to you.
Notice how she says you're supposed to have this vision and plan for yourself. Where is that in the Bible? Where are you getting this vision and plan from? Where are you getting this from? This is crazy. What scripture does she have for this? There's none. Again, this is what they want to tell you because it tickles your ears. It makes you feel like you were put here to do something else. Okay, why aren't you doing it? If you're not supposed to be at the 9 to 5, where are you supposed to be? Because when I was on the 9 to 5, I didn't want to go. I was put out. You see the difference? I was put out. I wasn't being targeted. I was put out due to the pandemic thing because of you're not going to get me with that. So I'd rather go. So I wasn't targeted. You get what I mean? You have a lot of people that walked off the 9 to 5 due to a lot of people. But she's making it seem like when you're a chosen one and you're on the job, you're being targeted and harassed and bullied, and people are just out to get you because they're intimidated by you. Intimidated by what? What exactly are they intimidated by? People loved me on the job. Of course, I had a few issues with different people, but for the most part, me being at the job made the day fun. Even if I go pull up at the work location to see some of the peeps, when I come through, they still asking me to come and, yo, man, you should come back, man. You should do this. And I'm like, nah. That chapter's closed. So what she's saying is wrong. What she's saying is wrong because what it suggests is that nobody's supposed to work for nobody. And if that's the case, if you have a business, how are you going to hire employees? How are you going to hire employees if you believe nobody's supposed to be at the 9 to 5? Then how are we going to run the infrastructure? How are we going to work? It makes no sense. Most of you are on a 9 to 5 right now because that's your starting ground. Some of you are content with where you are. Some of you are like, Ringo, I'm good right where I'm at. I'm good. I don't got no issues where I'm at, bro. If this is all I was to have for the rest of my life, I'm good, Ringo. And then there's some of you that's like, look, fam, I can't do this no more. I can't. I'm tired of coming here. I'm tired of doing this mess. I'm tired of dealing with, okay, with your situation now, you got to know that it's time to exit. It doesn't mean that you're not meant to be at a 9 to 5. It just means that you're at the breaking point, which means you know you don't belong there. Okay, now that you know that, do you have something else lined up to transition into? Have you started something? Because if you didn't, I don't know what you're complaining about your job for. You don't got nothing lined up to fall back on? Then how you gonna complain? If you're complaining and you haven't built nothing to go into, you're wasting everybody's time. You're wasting everybody's time. See, when I was on a 9 to 5, I knew what I wanted to do. But I knew it was either the job or what I wanted to do. You can't do both. You got some people that do content and they go to their 9 to 5. You can't have both. I'm letting you know. If you're a content creator and you're trying to do content and be on a 9 to 5, it's not going to work. You're going to be limited. You're limiting yourself because you have obligations with your job. And it can also put you in problems if you're at your job and they see you on social media. Because I can recall when I was on the 9 to 5, when I was a caretaker, and I remember women in the workplace was literally making petitions to because it's like, they were like, oh, he's on social media talking about women. And they literally was trying to put the spotlight on me to the point where even my supervisor called me in the office saying, is this you? And I was like, yeah, that's me. I do content. What do you want me to do? Like, first of all, why are they watching me? Like, this is crazy. Like, how you gonna point me out for making some content and they're mad about that? Why they watch me for? This is a waste of time. Like, seriously. Does this have anything to do with my job performance? Absolutely not. So why are we even having this conversation? Do you understand me? So I know that when you work and you do content, it's sort of like a conflict of interest because they're going to look at it as you're working here, but you're doing this. Then you're going to have the haters. So it's going to be a problem. So if you feel that your job is just a headache, okay. Do you have something else that is earning money? If not, stop complaining. You're not ready to leave. You got to be doing something in order to leave. You got to be doing something in order to transition to the next level. And you got to be good at it. You got to be good at it. If not, then you got to remain at the 9 to 5 until you're able to build something on your own. That's the purpose of the 9 to 5. The purpose of the 9 to 5 is simple, fam. You go there, you get your bread. You get your bread, and then you take your bread and you invest that into the thing that you love that can earn money. So while you at the 9 to 5, you're dealing with the BS, you're dealing with the drama, all the issues. But when payday come, you get your bread, you pay your rent. You pay your rent, you pay your cell phone, you pay your light, pay your gas. You do what you got to do. All your utilities, necessity, all the things, your groceries, all that stuff is good. Okay, we good? All right, cool. How much money do I got left? All right, I got a little bit of bread left. All right, so this right here is going to be some pocket money. And this right here, I'm going to put this in savings. Now, when this goes into savings, I'm never touching this. Stay there. I'm building up some bread. I'm stacking some bread, right? You don't got no kids? Oh, that's great. You don't got no kids? No responsibility? Oh, wow. So that means you could save money. So if you're a brother and you don't got no kids and you ain't saving no bread, something's wrong with you. Your priorities is out of order. Your priorities is out of order. You're supposed to be stacking some sort of bread some way, somehow. And another thing is, if you got bills, those bills need to be paid. Credit card debts, various things, they need to be paid because we don't need you to be in debt. If you're building, you got to have all your bills paid. Everybody got to be paid. Everybody. That's the purpose of you having that job. You take that portion of money that you save and you focus that on business. Stand on business. I'm here to work, to get my bread, so I can start a business, so I can make my new streams of income, so I can exit this job. But never say, oh, I'm not meant to be here at this job. Like, you too good to get your hands dirty. Like, you too good to punch a clock. We all gotta punch that damn clock. There's no escaping the clock, bro. Everybody gotta be at that Chronos clock. Everybody. Everybody gotta be at that clock. You know what I mean? This is why I believe that when you have kids and they inherit the business and they never had an opportunity to work or anything, they're gonna fail at the business, fam. They're gonna fail at the business because they don't have no discipline. You gotta have discipline. I don't believe that she understands the importance of the 9 to 5. Let's get back to the tape.
But I want to tell you, you know, in the workplace, we're very much targets because of our personality and because of our presence. So people will easily feel intimidated by us.
Intimidated by what? What are you talking about? What do you mean your presence? They're intimidated. This makes no sense. None whatsoever, fam.
Easily try to pick on us and try to, you know, really just box us in and make us feel like, you know, we shouldn't be there or that we're different. For an example, you know, when I first started to work there, you know, it was cool at first, but then like some of the females there, you know, would just be mouthy towards me, you know. And back then I was more reactive. And before I continue, I just want to say, you know, sometimes 9 to 5s are there in our life just so we could learn, you know, because.
But she ain't learned nothing. She ain't learned nothing, guys. She said back then she was more reactive, which means she had an attitude. Again, we got to look at translations. She said back then I was more reactive. Translation, I had a bad attitude. I would get in people's face. I would be argumentative and have issues. That's what she's basically saying.
For me, I needed to learn how to be more communicative with the customers because I'm very low-key, like introverted. I really don't like talking to people like.
You see that? She don't like talking to people like that. Well, then that's her problem. It has nothing to do with the job. She's just not a people person. She says she's introverted. A lot of people are introverted. But when you go to a 9 to 5, you got to work. You got to know how to have those skills. And I can tell she didn't have the training. She didn't have the proper training to teach her on the responsibility. When you have customers, especially if you deal with retail, you deal in the food service business industry, you got to be a people person. You got to know how to greet customers when they come in. Hey, how you doing? What can I do for you today? What will you have on the menu? And you just be fun and have joy and make the person that come in there want to come back to the store. Some people just don't have that type of vibe. If you work in retail, I know in retail it could be hectic sometime because you see customers walking in and you're like, hey, how can I help you? And they might respond with, I don't need no help, and kind of brush you off and all of that other stuff. Don't feel no type of way when people do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Don't feel no type of way, because at the end of the day, you're not there to make friends with everybody. You're there to do a job. That's all it is. Hey, how can I help you? How y'all doing today? I see y'all looking in the store. If y'all need any help, I'm right here. Just holler over here and I'll take care of you. That's it. Especially if you work in retail, like in a clothing department store. Sometimes the way you approach the person will set you up for disappointment. Like if you're like, hey, is there anything I can help you with? And they'll just shut you down. Nah, I'm good. I can find it myself. And then you feel like if they dissed you. No, that's not how you do it. You don't do it that way. You got to have the mindset of a waiter. A person that's at a restaurant, a waiter. You have the apron on, the what is that thing? The napkin right here, and you walk. Remember, you're a servant. You're a servant. Everybody that work at a 9 to 5 is a servant. We're all serving a business. We're serving a company. Do you understand? So when you see the customer come, and it's in a clothing department store, and they're walking by, you see them in the aisle, all you got to do is just excuse me, ma'am, if you need any help regarding any of the clothing in this section here, I'll be glad to help you. And that's it. That kind of approach, it takes off the pressure of you pressuring the customer to have a conversation. Some people just like to shop and be in their world. And they really don't like when retail people are up all over them. They get offended. So you got to know how to have the right approach that will be a win-win for both of you. That way you did your job by providing service, and you left the opportunity for them to decide if you want to help, if they want help, to come to you. I think that would work out for everybody if they understand that. You know? Let's see what we got here. King Marcus says, she's speaking facts though. I deal with this at my job. So leave. How you gonna say she's speaking facts? Speaking facts on what? Who ain't dealing with that? See, that's the problem with people. Let me explain something. This is why Brother New Breed was frustrated with a lot of these people that talk this chosen one nonsense. Notice what the brother said, fam. He says, she's speaking facts though. 100. I deal with this at my job. Who don't? Who don't? Everybody do. Ain't nobody special. Everybody deal with the same thing. What's the point? I'm telling you, man, this is crazy. This is why the whole chosen one parade that everybody is doing is very misleading, because they tell you things that can relate to anybody. Anybody can relate to that, but nobody's targeting you as a person. Who got time to be doing that? Who got time to be picking on you? A grown man. Every day you come to work, you mean to tell me people are picking on you every day? Harassing you every day? Who deals with that? Who deals with that kind of nonsense every day? This is crazy, man. King Marcus says, I don't agree with the 9 to 5. You got to work and pay bills or have your own business. Fam, everybody got to work and pay bills. That's called adulting. Everybody got to work and pay bills. See, this is the problem, fam. It's like we complain about things, but we don't have no solutions. If the 9 to 5 is a place you don't want to be in, where is your business? I can guarantee you everybody that's complaining don't got nothing that they working on right now that they have established. Because if you really understood business, you would have that work ethic that would cause you to leave that company tomorrow. A person who is standing on business would walk from the 9 to 5 and go start a business tomorrow and start earning money. If that's not happening, it don't make no sense you complain. A lot of people are complaining, but nobody really want to start that business. The brother said he agreed with her because he's experiencing this at his job or whatever the case is. I'm saying it's not that you're experiencing anything. She's using the placebo effect on your mind. And this is what manipulates men and women. People like this will tell you things that can relate to anybody. Everybody that has a 9 to 5 go through the same thing. Everybody. Whether you're a fireman, you would think that all firemen are just having a good day. No, they go through BS too. If you're a policeman, a policewoman, you're going through the same thing. They'll put you to patrol this area and they put you with somebody that's a clown. And now you're dealing with drama. So everybody deals with this mess, fam. It doesn't matter what job you work in. You could be in the trucking industry. They could put you to train somebody, and the person that you're training don't know how to park the truck, don't know how to drive. They're bumping into stuff. They're not following no instructions, man. And you're just having a difficult day, bro. So everybody deals with drama. Now the supervisor coming to you because the person you were training damaged the truck. Now they talking about, oh, it's coming out of your money. And you're like, what? What do you mean? I'm training the person. What are you talking about, fam? But this is what goes down. Everybody deals with drama on the job. There's no special people in the workplace. My point is, if you are pissed about your job, stop complaining and start doing something so you can exit. Because if you ain't earning no money nowhere else, you can't leave that job. You need it. You need that job to pay your rent. So complaining ain't gonna help. They paying them bills for you. That job earn you money to pay them bills. So it don't make no sense to complain. Any job you got to be thankful for it. It doesn't matter what's going on. Every job, you have to be thankful to the Most High that you have a job, fam. It doesn't matter what's going on. No matter what drama's going on, you got to be thankful you have a job, because a lot of people don't got no jobs. A lot of people ain't making no money. A lot of people struggling, they getting laid off, and a lot of issues is happening. So you got to be thankful for your job, man. You can't be ungrateful and think, well, when you come to work, they're supposed to roll out a red carpet specifically for you so that everything could work out for you. It's not how it goes, man. That's not how it goes. When I was on a 9-to-5, fam, let me tell you, man. When I was on a 9-to-5, me and my partner, we held down the entire working environment. We were literally running the show. You know what I mean? When it came to our supervisors, right? One of our supervisors, I just heard he had recently retired, you know what I mean? Shout out to him. I'm not gonna mention his name. I don't wanna put him out there, you know what I mean? Next minute people know who it is. They start doing investigations. You know how people is, right? But with this particular supervisor, it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what time of the day is. It doesn't matter what we going through. If that particular supervisor called us up and said, yo, guys, I need for y'all to do a particular job for, you know, at this particular location, fam. Like, it's really crazy. I really need you guys to, we stop everything we doing. We going over there. Period. We going and handle business. You know why? Because that particular supervisor was a supervisor. He took care of business. He made sure we had supplies. He made sure that we were good. He wasn't one of them type of supervisors that's always, you know what I mean, hunting for dirt. So when he was in need of real soldiers to go out there on the battlefield and take care of business, we were always there. So when his supervisors would be on his back like, what's going on at the location? Why this is happening? Why does it? We came and went down there and made sure everything was good. So by the time his supervisors came there to do their report, everything was immaculate. You know what I mean? That's how we made sure that business was always ran right. A lot of people didn't think like how I was when I was on the job. You know what I mean? Even my old partner, he still do what he got to do. He gets busy, do what he got to do. And he still keeps telling me, yo, fam, come back, bro. You know what I mean? Yo, we'll be able to do that. I'm like, nah, bro. It's not happening no more, man. But that's my point. That was that chapter in my life. You might be at what is it called? A crossroads. You might be at a crossroads. Now, if you're at a crossroads with your job, chances is you have something else that is already there. If you don't have that in place, it's not time to go. It's not time yet. You may just want to go because you're just tired of working, because you're lazy. I'm talking about people that have something already established that they've done and worked on for years, and they're ready. They're ready to exit the job that they're at. If you're at that point and the thing that you do is already earning you money, okay, by the time you leave the job, you're going to be able to maximize profits because now you got more time to invest in your business. So it would be beneficial for you to walk from that job. But if you don't got nothing, it ain't time to go yet. It's not time. You know? But to brother Marcus, everybody go through the same type of drama on the job. Her message is going to relate to you. That's the deception. That's the manipulation. It's gonna relate to you. Who don't that relate to? But the thing is, she's calling everybody chosen ones. So if an Asian man is going through that, is he a chosen one? If a Caucasian man is going through that, is he a chosen one? If you're going through that, Marcus, are you a chosen one? Are you obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? Are you obeying the Bible? Have you repented of your sins? Are you teaching people the ways of the Lord? Because if you're not, her message is deceiving, man. And that's what people are not getting.
But it taught me to be more outgoing, and it taught me to be less reactive. Like, I was more reactive back then.
If the job taught her to be less reactive, then why is she saying the job is not meant for her? That the job is not meant for chosen ones? If the job taught her these particular traits, because like I said, fam, if you're now joining in the live and you didn't see it from the beginning, I was talking about how when I was working for a particular agency, my first day on the job, I almost got into a fight with some guy. You know what I mean? And all my training that I got before I got the job kicked in. And I surprised myself because I'm cut from the type of cloth that once somebody disrespect me, it's on sight. That's just the way it is. I don't have no, there's no filter, there's no limiter. There's nothing that's going to say, well, you know, I mean, now at this point in my life, I know how to move and how to step out the situation, de-escalate. I understand it. It's just like that. Even with, if you're an officer, they teach you that you got to know how to de-escalate, which some of them don't do that. And then they escalate the situation and then they're becoming a lawsuit. You know what I mean? You got to know how to step outside of situations, think before you react, know how to speak, right? And learn not to be triggered by someone's words, because words can trigger a reaction. And before you know it, it's you that's going to get in trouble. It's you that's going to get locked up. You're going to be in the precinct behind bars. We're going to have to come bail you out. Is it worth it? Is it worth your children suffering because you're in prison? Is it worth it that you're going away for 10 years? It's not worth it. So before you think about killing that dude, you got to think about this. Are you just, is it an ego thing? Were you embarrassed? Do you feel like you were disrespected? You're trying to prove something to somebody? Trying to do all of those things will cost you your freedom. It's not worth it. You know? But when it comes to her situation, she just don't want to work. She want to have the easy life. There's something going on social media right now where you have a lot of young ladies that want the social media life. Because when they go on Instagram, they see women taking all these photos with nice clothes, purses, trips, vacations. And they think that when you're an influencer, you're just living it up. I'm pretty sure you all heard the story of a woman, a single mother, that I'm not sure if she moved to, I'm not sure where she moved to. I'm not sure if it's Florida or California or wherever, or Miami. And she moved there with her kids, single mother, no job, no nothing. And she said she did this because she wanted to be an influencer. It was Houston. It was Houston. I'm asking Lazy Money. Was it Houston? I'm not sure where it was, but she moved with her kids and she was homeless in a shelter. Okay, so it was in Houston. So she literally moved because she thought a lot of influencers are in Houston. So she figured, hey, I'm going to go there and just become this influencer. The only thing she was influencing was the people that were on the streets because she was homeless. But that's the delusion. She saw something on social media and thought that, oh, I quit my job and just take a trip with no money, no savings, no nothing, and think I'm gonna live this big fancy life. No, what she got was living on the streets. That's what she got.
And yeah, so it teaches you a lesson. But, you know, people will be after you because of who you are. They see your light.
Anybody can see your light. That relates to anybody. If you go to your job paranoid that they're coming after you because they see your light, what light? What light is this woman talking about? What light? What is the light? I bet she got no answers for you. I bet she got no answers for you. What light are we talking about? Because according to the Bible, it says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. What good works? Works that are aligned with the scriptures. Works that are aligned with the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? She's not speaking from the Bible. She's talking about some weirdo light from some imaginary limbo, some weirdo world. The Bible talks about let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. And when they see your good works, it's going to make them know the Most High is real because you're practicing thus saith the Lord. This woman is not doing that.
See that you get your work done and they will be intimidated by your presence. Your manager may be intimidated by your presence.
Why would your manager be intimidated by your presence when they make more money than you? Your job title do not make more money than the manager. They're not concerned with you. They're not intimidated by you. They control you. How could they be intimidated by somebody that can't give them no orders? This is crazy, man.
And mine was, you know, because they may feel like, wow, like, what if this person stays here forever? Mind you, you're not. You're going to move on to bigger and better things, you know. But they think of it as, oh, she might take my position. She, you know, or he might take my position. He works so hard.
This is competitive jealousy, y'all. This have nothing to do with being a chosen one. This is competitive jealousy. Anybody that's at a workplace concerned that somebody's going to take their job, you're insecure. You're insecure. And for her to think that this is how her managers and supervisors thought, that's all in her mind. She's in her mind, she's thinking that way. Those supervisors, they're not even thinking about her.
He's so charming. You know, he gets things, you know, like he works so hard. You know, he does his best. She does her best. She comes in on time. He comes in on time, you know. So they will start to feel some type of way and start to, you know, basically single you out and make you feel like you're doing everything wrong. So for an example, you know, I had this manager or whatever.
She said she had this manager. There lies the problem. She's beefing with the manager, guys. Look at her face. Look at the still image. She's beefing with her manager. That's what's going on here, fam. Check it out. Look at her face. You see how her face look? You see the lashes? She's beefing with the managers, fam. That's what we got here. She's the one that's beefing with them.
I think he's like day shift or whatever. And I guess he liked this girl on my shift, and me and her.
He liked this girl on her shift. Do you see where this is going? Remember what I told you guys? Stop dealing with these women on the job. Keep it business. So the way I'm seeing, he likes the girl, some other girl on the job. It could be a situation where possibly he likes her or she likes him and she's jealous of the other girl. I'm telling you, this is how it be on the 9 to 5, bro.
Look, he had, you know, had a little, it wasn't a big confrontation, but she had a tone with me and I answered back in the same tone.
You see that? They were arguing. She answered back. The other girl had issues with her. So there's some sort of jealousy between these two women. Let's go.
Mind you, I was reactive back then, and it taught me to not be reactive. So, I think, like, ever since then, like, he was coming for me.
You see that? Ever since then, he was coming for me. You see that? So, in other words, she's saying that the manager or whoever is coming for her. Well, that's called retaliation. If that's a manager, that can be reported. That can easily be reported on the job via email, via various phone numbers that you can call anonymously to make a complaint about a manager that is, I guess, using his power, abusing power, and so on and so forth. There's various policies and agencies that everybody got to follow. That's the thing about the workplace. No one is above reproach in the workplace. A lot of times people be getting scared when supervisors come in, managers come in, or everybody got to adhere to the rules. Nobody is above nobody in the workplace. Once you understand the laws that govern your job and the policies of a company, everybody must abide by them. Even your supervisor, manager, whoever. If they get out of pocket, you can give them a memo. Did you not know that? Did you not know that on your job, you can give your supervisor a memo, your manager, whoever, you can give them a memo. That's right, because they got to be following company policy too. So if they're abusing power and doing things that goes against the policy, right, against the terms of service of the business, you can report that to any officials that's above them. And now they'll deal with that supervisor that's getting out of pocket. They just can't do what they want to do. That's why if you work at the 9 to 5, you're supposed to know your business. You're supposed to know what the job title is and the standard procedures. Once you understand that, because everybody that got a job should have a pamphlet, some sort of rule book, something that tells them how, as an employee, you're to conduct yourself. And We understand workplace harassment, sexual harassment, third-party harassment, quid pro quo. Once you understand all of these different things, fam, ain't nobody supposed to be doing no dirt and get away with it once you know the rules.
So one time he asked me, I'm sitting down, like there's nobody there. I came early in the morning.
She came early in the morning, keep in mind.
Nobody's there. Don't nobody come in till like after 11.
So why you came in early in the morning? Come on. Why you came in that early if nobody don't come in early?
So I'm sitting down and he asked me to, do the silverware, I guess unravel new silverware, like unbox it or whatever.
So he gave you instructions. Okay, what's the problem?
So I did exactly what he told me to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. Like, what's the problem? Let's go.
I unboxed it, then I put it in the tray and I put it back there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, he's asking me to come to his office. And y'all know what he was doing?
What?
He literally wrote me up and said, oh, yeah, I asked her to do this and that, and she didn't do it.
Nah, there's some more that happened before that you left out. You ain't fooling me, young lady. You ain't fooling me. See, you told on yourself right there. See, I know all about the drama. He called you to that office for something else. He called you to that office for something else. It didn't go down, and then he retaliated against you. That's what happened. Come on now. Listen to what she said, fam. Check it out.
He literally wrote me up and said, oh, yeah, I asked her to do this and that.
No, let's rewind that back. We got to hear it from the top. Let's go.
Next thing I know, he's asking me to come to his office. And y'all know what he was doing?
Yeah, he was trying to hit on you. That's what he was doing. Come on now. That's exactly what he was doing. The manager or whoever called it to the office, because this happens a lot, fam. They call in the young pretty girl up into the office and try to do that little sweet talk thing. This is what goes down in the workplace. They call the pretty girl in and try to talk to her, see how they can move. Because remember, she said that he liked the other girl. So obviously he called her in because he probably wanted her and she probably wasn't with it. Or maybe she was upset with him because he was talking to the other chick. Trust me, this kind of drama goes on in the workplace. I'm telling you, fam, these are facts.
He literally wrote me up and said, oh, yeah, I asked her to do this and that, and she didn't do it.
Why would he write you up if you did what he told him? That's not how it went down. Something else happened. You're leaving out the rest of the story. I'm not buying that, fam. There's more to the story.
I said, you asked me to do this and that. You never told me to wash it. He wanted me to wash it as well. And that never came out of his mouth. So it's like,
You're lying. I can see it in your eyes you're lying. Those lashes is making it very clear you lying. Those lashes is making it very clear and obvious that you're lying. I don't believe your story. I don't believe your story. I've been doing this far too long, and I can just tell when somebody's lying. Your body language is screaming lies. Her body language is saying liar. Look at her body language. Look at her eye contact.
Do this and that. You never told me to wash it.
You're lying. You're lying. I know you're lying. You are a liar. I don't believe your story.
No, he wanted me to wash it as well. And that never came out of his mouth. So
you see how she looks sideways? When you see them talking like this and they go like this, like, he told me to do that and, they're lying. Trust me, they're lying.
Like, at that point in time, I just felt harassed and I told him.
Oh, you just felt harassed. How is that harassment? How is that harassment? It sounds to me like you're trying to use company policies to get rid of the guy. Remember what I told you guys? That when you're in these relationships on the 9 to 5, all a woman got to say is she feel like she's being harassed. Remember I told you this? Remember I told you guys this? This is what you're seeing right here.
You're not about to harass me, and I'm not signing this, little suspiciously. And, it ended up getting dismissed by my GM or whatever. And, ever since then, they were coming after me, seriously. And I just...
Notice how she cut the video right there. She cut the video and then started it back. So there's some information she kept out.
And I just want to let y'all know, you are a target to people in the workplace.
How? What do you mean you are a target to people in the workplace? Yep, she's making it seem like being in the workplace is this evil, dangerous world of demons coming after you. No.
Especially if you have a good spirit and you just mind your business and you're just there to get work and get paid.
Notice she ain't say nothing about if you follow God, keep the commandments, obey his laws. You don't hear none of that. Just said, oh, if you're a good person, you do your job. Nothing about the Most High, nothing about the commandments, because they're using the chosen one's talking point just to build a following. They are really not following the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
People will be after you because they notice how you don't want to interact with everybody. You're not there to gain friends.
Fam, she said you're not there to interact with anybody. If you're working at a 9-to-5, you have to interact with coworkers. You don't have to be friends, but you got to be colleagues. You have to be team players. That's just the way it works in the workplace. You don't have to like everybody, but we got to get this job done. Even if I don't like you, we got to work together. It's just that simple.
You're there to work. You're there to get things done. And people will feel some type of way about it because a lot of people are people pleasers. A lot of people, I would say, an unhealed chosen person may be a people pleaser.
She just said an unhealed chosen person. Do you see this? Do you see what she's doing? An unhealed chosen person might be a people pleaser. That chosen one thing is going crazy on social media. People don't know what they're saying.
But a chosen one that's done their healing work, they aren't people pleasers. They got over that phase in their life. And me at the time, I was never a people pleaser. I never cared to make friends, especially when, everybody talks about each other in the workplace.
Everybody talks about each other in the workplace. You see that? And that happens at every workplace. Who don't talk about people?
I just was never into that. I was doing my own thing, worried about myself, worried about the customers I handle. And I was trying to be, in and out. And for some reason, I was just a target. And, I just want to let y'all know.
How you a target in the workplace and you ain't report that to HR? Target for what? Nobody could be targeting you in the workplace. That's how I know this is BS. Nobody could be targeting you in the workplace. They're going to get in trouble. Nobody could just be doing that. That's harassment. So obviously she's lying about this story.
People see things in you, especially if you're, like I said, just there to get your work done.
Notice she ain't say if they see God in you, if they see that you following the commandments, because she don't follow the Bible, fam. That's why she's going through all of these problems.
And you're just persistent, you're consistent, you're a hard worker,
If you're really doing all of that work, you won't have time to be worrying about everybody. If you're such a hard worker and about your own business, nothing nobody does on a 9-to-5 would even be bothering you because you're in your own world. That's how I know that she's lying.
People will feel so intimidated by you.
Intimidated by what?
By your presence. They think that, maybe you could be something more in life. You probably have a vision for yourself.
This is crazy, man. And there's so many people that make content like that, and it gravitates to people that really don't know who they are. That's why they love that type of madness.
And people will just be so intimidated by your energy,
By your energy, not by your walk with the Most High, not by the fact that you keep the commandments. See, the Bible says, they that live righteously shall suffer persecution. She's not living righteously. She's not suffering persecution for teaching or living by the word. She's not. She just don't want to do her job.
So if you're in the workplace right now and you're going through things where people are teaming up against you, imagine how strong you are by yourself. If people are teaming up against you, just imagine how strong you are.
Listen, if you are really strong, none of this stuff will be bothering you. If you are really strong, none of this bothers you. And again, in the workplace, nobody could be teaming up to harass you. They'll be fired if they're doing that. This is how I know that she's not doing her job, and she definitely don't understand company policy or how to report harassment. Because if co-workers are joining together in stalking you on the job, harassing you on the job, gossiping about you on the job, that can all result in disciplinary action for those co-workers and or possible termination. This is why when you're on the 9 to 5, you got to be respectful of everyone. You can't be looking at the women as a piece of meat. You cannot be there cussing people out and bringing personal issues to the job, wanting to fight people on the job. All of that is, it's not cool. It's not good. You got to be about business. She's not standing on business, and that's why she's having so many problems right now.
That's how you know you are worth way more than that job, and that you have some plans and vision that's gonna come to you in your life.
But those plans are not there. You're complaining so much about the job, but you haven't done the vision yet. So that's just pure madness and wishful thinking.
You're meant for greatness, and do not let these people get to you, because, you're one of one. And people know that. People are intimidated by you.
They love saying that stuff, man. Like with this chosen one stuff, they love going around saying everybody's intimidated by you and all this other mess. I don't know why. Intimidated by what? What are they intimidated by? I would not want to be who I am right now, and I'm intimidating people everywhere I go. That's toxic. That's sick. If you really think about it, I would not want to walk around people, and everybody I come around, they're intimidated by me. That's actually negative. That's a negative thing. That's not a good thing,
And another thing, before I leave out, if you have not received your vision or plan yet, but you know that you are not meant for a 9 to 5, I just want to let you know you will receive that vision and plan, but
you will receive that vision and plan, but receive what vision and plan? The Bible says if a man don't work, he won't eat. What are you talking about? It ain't saying anything about you're going to receive a vision and a plan and you're going to be in greatness and having a ball. It didn't say nothing like that in the scriptures.
You have to start working towards something.
Okay, you got to start working towards something, but you haven't done that. You have to be working towards something while you're working at the 9 to 5. I already told people that. If you're not doing that, you can't be complaining about the job because, again, if you're doing something productive for yourself, you still got to be around people at some point. So you got to learn how to interact with people and learn how to swallow your pride and ego and understand that you're going to be dealing with different personalities. I understand that as a man of truth, I'm going to have to interact with other brothers in truth. And when you interact with other brothers in truth, I also have to understand, especially as men, you got to understand men are natural leaders. Men of truth are natural leaders. So when you get around other men of truth, you have to understand you're around men of authority, men who have firm beliefs on what they stand on in terms of their morals, their values, and they're about their business. So when you're around men, it's all about mutual respect. And typically men, we know how to do this, and we recognize each other's greatness, and we know how to acknowledge that. A lot of times with women, it's a little challenging at some points because emotions get involved and it can really get really bad. I've seen too many fights with women, disagreements, to the point where the supervisors have to literally bring all the women into the cafeteria to talk about the drama that's going on the job. And it can become nasty. I'm talking about people pulling hair out, fights in the locker room, supervisors fighting each other. Like you'll have a female supervisor fighting with one of the coworkers, and it becomes a mess, a real mess. I seen situations where dudes came up to the job with burners and shot supervisors, bruh. It is what it is, man. Sometimes it get really crazy, and this is why you have to know how to not let things go to that state, that point. I mean, if you got to bring a gun to your job, bro, it's time for you to leave, man. If you got to do that, you got to leave, fam. You know what I mean? And to all you other cats that are on the 9 to 5, don't be selling any sort of drug in the workplace. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen some things. You know, people got arrested, you know, on the 9 to 5 for selling, you know, weed on the job, drugs on the job, and they got arrested and the cops was called, and man, oh man, it was a mess. I've seen all of this type of stuff happen, and in most cases, we didn't even know. It was like it was being done and we didn't even know until there was something that was going on and somebody had smelled something. And, you know what I mean? I'm not saying what location, where it went down, what went down, but where it was is somebody had smelled something and they called the police. Police came in, boom, 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 whoopity whoop. Locker was opened up. Bruh, man had a whole stash, bro. Like how dumb could you be to have that at your job, bro, with a gun? Like, I'm telling you, man, some crazy stuff goes down. People went to, you know, the dude went to jail, fam. Like, it's really bad.
You know, you have to do your due diligence on what you like, what type of person you are. What do you want out of life?
Ladies, please take the lashes off, please. Please do that. Just take the lashes off.
You need to write all of that down. And, you know, eventually it will come to you. Pray to God about it, ask God about it, and it will come to you. And you will escape the 9 to 5 system.
She's saying you'll escape the 9 to 5 system like it's the penitentiary or something. Alcatraz. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is, man. She's tripping. You know what I mean? She just seems like she don't want to work, don't want to follow instructions, and or possibly may have been in bad relationships with managers and whatnot. I'm not sure if it's a dating relationship. I don't know. It kind of sounds like it, like the supervisor wanted a little something more, and he may have retaliated, or maybe he did give her verbal instructions, but she didn't want to follow it. And she tried to make the supervisor or whoever out to be a bad person, because sometimes that happens. A lot of times, a lot of supervisors don't like to interact too much with their employees, because a lot of times they get hit with sexual harassment, quid pro quo type harassment, and so on and so forth, and they end up losing their job. So that's one of the biggest fears of a lot of supervisors, is that they're going to get hit with a harassment charge, because that normally is the way in which workers get back when they have a beef with a supervisor, is they will claim harassment. I've seen supervisors lost their job and they were fired because of situations like that. I've seen workers lie on paperwork that they were harassed, or, you know, they had a slur that was said, and they got a couple of other people through a petition, and they all lied to get somebody packed up. It's a real dirty job sometimes in business, but hey, it is what it is, man. So we're gonna get up on out of here. I'm gonna have more content later on. I wanna pretty much take care of some business. I'm not sure if I shouted out everybody here. I think I did. Shout out to Randy for the support. Randy, Stacy, and Terrence for the support. Right? Let me see. Yeah, so we'll be back later on with more. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is, guys. Be careful on the 9 to 5, man. It's not that nobody's meant for the 9 to 5. So if you came here during the live and you're here right now, this topic is not about me saying that as a chosen one, you're not meant for the 9 to 5. That's what she's saying. That's what this woman is saying here, which is out of this world. It's ludicrous. It's crazy. Everybody have to work. Everybody have their time in which they got to do their just due. And as you grow and mature in life, you'll know when it's time to branch off into other things. But until then, you got to have a job. It's just that simple. Some got good jobs. Some got bad jobs. Some don't want to be there. Some don't mind being there. It is what it is. We all got to go through this. It's unfortunate, but we all got to go through. You know what I mean? I don't make the rules. This is the way society is, and it is what it is. So if you don't like your job, quit. If you want to leave the 9 to 5, you need to have something in place. Because here's the thing, fam. If you leave one job because you don't like this and you don't like that, and you go get another job, it's going to be the same thing at that job too. Because it's really not the job, it's you. The problem is not the job, the problem is you. You're just a horrible person. I'm just being honest with you, because somebody got to tell you the truth. A lot of times we try to run from our problems and we blame other people when really the problem is us. We just don't want to take personal accountability, because it seems like with some people, no matter what job you put them at, there's always a problem. I've seen people get moved around in the workplace because they had a beef with one person, so the supervisor moved that person over here, and now they beefing with that person. And the supervisor moved them from that person and moved them over here, and they still beefing with that person. So it's not the job, it's that individual. They're the problem. You know? They're the problem. They don't need to work there, because all they do is create a hostile working environment, and nobody want to work with that mess. You know? Nobody want to work with a woman that got an attitude, or a dude that's emotional and always get, triggered over nonsense. You know? It's crazy, man. Yeah, those lashes gotta go, man. I don't know who invented that mess, but it gotta go. It's like I don't know what's the matter with ladies. Could y'all please stop putting on lashes? Could y'all stop this? It don't look right. Please stop. Serious. It don't look good. I don't care how many women you see on these Instagram photos and these images with these lashes. When they put on the lashes, they use the filter, and the filter enhances everything and make everything look real, or make it look good in their own imagination. In person, when we're standing next to you, it looks bad. It don't look good. I have never seen a woman till this day that have on these lashes and it actually looks good. I'm always looking at her shaking my head, because I'm like, she really thinks she look good. And it don't look good. It look crazy. So, hey, we're going to get up on out of here, man. It is what it is. And then they start putting all that black stuff all over their eyes, just looking crazy. I'm like, yo, man, y'all got to stop this mess, man. This stuff is depressing, man. It really is. So, hey, we're going to be back later on with more, man. It is what it is. Stop listening to these people. Every minute they talking about chosen one this, chosen one that. If they're not teaching you the law, statutes, and commandments, when they say chosen ones, turn them off, because you're listening to a devil, a charlatan, a manipulator. I said it, and I said it again. Listen, if you're listening to YouTube videos where people come on and they're talking about chosen one this, chosen one that, hey, chosen ones, if they're not opening the Bible and teaching you the law, statutes, and commandments, teaching you to repent of your sins, teaching you to overcome your wickedness, if they're not doing that, turn them off. It's a gimmick. Do you understand? They'll teach you things that relates to anybody. Anybody could go through the things they're telling you. Don't fall for it. That being said, fam, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Reactions. It is what it is. Salute to everybody out there that's doing what they got to do. Everybody on the 9 to 5 grind. It is what it is, man. So that's about it, man. Y'all be blessed. Peace and blessings to the mods, chat, everybody out there on their grind, doing what they got to do. Make sure you support the show. Hit that like button. Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. We out of here, fam. Y'all take care. Peace. We out.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.